I am Liliana Ward. After 15 years and thousands of transactions, I can tell you, homes don't fail randomly. There is always a pattern behind it. If you ever heard this after a showing, they like the house, but they are not ready, this video is for you. Because that sentence is where deals quietly die, and most people misunderstand what actually means. Whatever you are, a seller, a buyer, or working alongside with clients in a transaction, if you don't understand this, you will waste time, lose opportunities, and in many cases, leave money on the table. What most people think it's happening, it's simple. No offers must mean the price is wrong. So the focus immediately goes to adjusting the price, waiting, getting more showings, and repeating the cycle. But what I've seen over years working closely with transactions from the preparation and presentation side is that most of the time it's not a price problem. It's a perception problem. Buyers don't walk into a home and calculate value like a spreadsheet. They feel it first. And that feeling happens in seconds. Before they think about numbers, they already made a decision emotionally. Can I see myself here, or does this feel like work? That is the difference. When a buyer walks into a home, they are subconsciously scanning for friction. Not just big issue, but small ones too. Too much furniture, outdated colors, poor lighting, heavy spaces, awkward layouts, deferred maintenance. None of this alone will kill a deal. But together they create resistance, and resistance turns into hesitation. Buyers almost never say this directly. They don't say the layout feels heavy or the space doesn't flow. They say, we like it, but we're going to keep looking. And that is their way of saying, I'm not fully convinced. When a buyer is not fully convinced, two things happen. They either walk away or they mentally discount the home. Meaning, even if they offer lower because they are pricing in the effort, uncertainty, and the emotional friction they felt walking through the house. This is why you see homes with a lot of activity, showings, interest, and compliments, no offers. High activity with no conversion is not a pricing signal. It's a perception signal. Now, take that same house, same location, same structure. And instead of trying to change everything, you remove just the friction. You adjust what the buyer feels like: light, space, flow, simplicity, clarity. And suddenly buyers walk in, and instead of what do I need to fix, they think, if I can live here. Same house, different reaction. This is where most sellers fall into the biggest trap. Trying to stay in the middle, doing a little bit of work, spending some money, not enough to change perception. That is the most expensive place to be. Because now you've invested, but buyers still feel the same resistance. You either sell as is and let the market adjust the price, or you prepare correctly and control the perception. The middle is where most people lose. So the real question became, no. Do you measure this because everyone says make it look better? But what exactly is affecting buyers' behavior and how much it's costing you? That's where and why we develop Maximate. And it's important to position correctly. It's not a CMA, it's not an appraisal, it's not trying to replace those, and it's not Zestimate mostly. Maximate, it's a way to measure how property will actually perform based on how buyers respond to it. It's built on real patterns. Homes that move quickly, homes that didn't, properties that were prepared correctly, and properties that weren't. Using inputs like photos, condition, presentation, time on market, cost of improvement, and final outcomes. So instead of guessing, you get clarity. Every property comes down to three numbers. What it will sell for today, as is. What it could sell for if it's prepared correctly, and what it takes to get there. On top of that, you get scores, condition appeal, and overall Maximate score. which explain why the property is performing the way it is. That's where you start to see the gap. Not just the number, but the difference between how the property is being perceived today and what it could become if that perception is correct. Let's talk about the sellers. Sellers, this means you don't have to guess your strategy. You can clearly see the two paths. Sell as is or prepare it to maximize the value. And both are valid, but going halfway is not. For buyers, this changes how you shop, because instead of chasing perfect stage, pretty homes and competing with everyone else, you can identify properties where the perception is off and the opportunity is real. And that's where equity is built. And for those guiding clients through the process, this changes the conversation from opinion to outcomes. So let's go back to the original question. They like it, so why didn't they buy it? Because liking is not enough. Buyers don't buy what they like. They buy what they feel confident about. And confidence comes from clarity, not potential. If you remember one thing from this video, remember this. It's not a price problem, it's a perception problem. And perception is something you can measure now. You can understand it and control it if you look in the right way. So here is what to do next. If you're selling, sit down with your agent and evaluate your home based on how buyers are experiencing it, not just how you see it. If you're buying, stop focusing only on moving pretty homes and start looking at where the opportunity is. And if you're involved as an agent, helping others to the transaction, start paying attention to the gap between showings and offers, because that's where the truth is. And if you want to see this clearly on a specific property, just request your free Maximate. Look at both paths, where it is today and where it could go, and make your decision. Base that this time on that, not in a guesswork. Most homes don't have a price problem. It's a perception problem. Send me the address and I'll show you exactly what needs to change before you list.